420, 420, for 20 long years. I smoked lots of reefer, drank lots of beer. Every day at 420, we're gonna settle this for 20 long years. It's been 20 past 4. Hello, welcome to 420 Live. I'm Geoff Kravitz, the weekly edition of my folly, my distraction that's now, now turned into kind of a pain in the butt. Because now I don't want to stop doing the show because I love coming to everybody and communicating. But at the same time, I'm back to work. Last night I worked with HBO. There's things coming up. There's festivals coming back. There's music coming back. If you're like me, you spent the past week with a pencil and a calendar, and not really a pencil. I just put it in my iPhone there, but I've started to put all kinds of things to look forward to. Something unusual it feels really weird. It's really, really strange to be looking at flights and booking Airbnbs with friends and wanting to go places where everybody wants to go. Everybody's ready to travel now. We're all vaccinated. We're ready to roll. It's been a hell of a year, a hell of the past 15 months of this, since this pandemic landed on our doorstep and having to deal with the whole change in our lives, the way fun has just been zapped out of existence. I never thought they'd stop the fun. My son, when he was young, he was probably about 4 or 5 years old. And I walked in one time when the kids are all playing and he saw me coming in and he looked up at me. He's like, "Dad, you can't stop the fun." And I did because it was time to go. But and that's kind of how I feel now. I feel like a 5-year-old, like, you can't stop the fun. That's it. You get one time stopping our fun. And now you guys are done. No more fun stopping. The fun's about to roll. Summer's about to come in. We're lucky today because we're going to get into it we're going to go talk from the top down to me about what's going to happen this summer, especially out there on the East Coast. If you're like me and you're a jam band fan, and if you're tuning in here, you probably are. You're excited for what's about to happen this summer. We all thought summer 2021 was going to be a tanker. It's just going to be okay. Another summer of hanging out, pretending that you're staying away from everybody. But now we have game on. We have Peach Music Festival sliding into that July 4th weekend. No one really claimed it. Everybody's going after that Labor Day weekend. If I see one more festival, one more event in Labor Day weekend, oh my God, Electric Zoo and Bonnaroo. And every time I turn around, it's something else going into that Labor Day weekend slot. So I'm done. Stop overloading Labor Day weekend. You got to spread some of this stuff out. But Labor Day seems to be the line of demarcation where the fun really starts to happen. We have Phish out this summer in July, starting in Arkansas. We have Dead & Company starting in North Carolina in July, late July. Dave Matthews, I believe he's also in the South, starting his tour. The fun's coming back, especially if these are your bands, if this is what you like. And the first time, usually July 4th weekend for me is incredibly busy. There's a lot going on, but we're now in an anomaly time where it's kind of like an opening of what's about to happen. We're all getting ready. We're still 8 to 10 weeks out, right? Before the fun really starts going. But, you have 6 weeks out. You have Peach Fest coming up. And I couldn't be more excited to have Jeff Gordon on the show today. Jeff Gordon is a huge supporter of 420 Live from the very beginning. He was along with us for the ride, came on with his buddy Don Strasberg to talk about what was happening in the entertainment industry at the very beginning when we knew nothing. But, Jeff, he was always optimistic. He always said the shows were going to come back. And you know what? Jeff Gordon was right. And I'm sure it's not the first time. And I sure as hell hope it's not the last time. Let's welcome Jeff Gordon to the show. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, how are you, Jeffrey?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah. Labor Day weekend, that's easy. July 4th, that's really for the people who want to take chances.
Well, yeah, you're definitely taking a chance there, but let
me say what I mean by that was there was not a person walking this earth that thought we were going to pull this off. So I'm happy that we didn't flinch. We flinched a little, but we didn't flinch, and I really want to thank all the bands that stuck around and believed my craziness, which turned into reality, which will become a wonderful celebration of welcoming back the live experience, especially in a nice camping festival that we're very proud of, called the Peach Festival, and the great acts that really stuck with myself and John Hampton and John Stevenson, and Ike does the PR for us, and Jim Sutcliffe, and all the people that have been really we've been doing business for a while, and really with a lot of these acts for a while. It's a beautiful moment when your friends stick by you. The one thing I will say about the pandemic is I'm not sure it built character, but it definitely showed lack of. I'll tell you that right now. And what I mean by that is the character that these bands showed to stick with us and to listen that, hey, look, and I'm talking to the governor's office. It's just, I know it doesn't look Spike this, and I don't want anybody to be unsafe, believe me. But they took the ride with my crazy, I don't know if I can say it, crazy ass. And I think I can say it on Facebook. And here we are. So, I mean, that's the beauty of it. And what I would say to the artists and the agents and the managers a lot is, forget about me. This is an important thing to get us back. This is an important event. So here we are.
Well, I definitely we see everything coming. LA is about to go to 100% indoors on June 15th and drop the mask mandate. And we've been one of the strictest in America. So everything's starting to open up. Capacity is going to be back to 100%. We're all going to be out this summer enjoying ourselves. We all see what's happening, which is amazing. And we're really excited. And Peach Fest, that is family right there. I see those bands. These are bands we've all known for decades and all worked with for decades. I mean, you have a lot of newer acts too, but the core of what you have there are people that have been in the scene and big supporters of our scene and the live music scene for years. And we're both big fans of this kind of music, this fly from the seat of your pants, let's have some fun and not know what's happening.
Yeah, somewhere along the line, gave the moniker jam band. I guess that meant somebody who would play music that's not totally formulated to an exact synchronized pop 5 minutes and 20 seconds, 3 minutes and 15 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So you call it jam band, we call it jam band. I call it just playing their instruments and having fun and artistically airing it out. That was the air that came in, after the bass of the song. And then the jam was that nice little extra stuff that you would get that was different from the last one. There'd be a little bit of sprinkles on top, or a little bit more frosting, or a little bit more whipped cream, or whatever the case is. And that was the jam. And that's the beauty of this music. You can call it jam band, but it's really just people really expressing their artistry and their unbelievable talent. You can tell I can't say enough about it. I mean,
listen, I don't want to genre classify, but these are bands that I appreciate because they're willing to take a chance every time they go on stage and not do the same thing you did the night before. So there really takes a lot of balls to be in a jam band or to want to go into here, because the fans are very picky and we're very demanding also. Yeah,
I think so. Pearl Jam is one of the better jam bands too. I mean,
I agree. They totally fall into it.
Right. So some people like to say jam band hippie music, for obvious reasons, but really jam band means expressing yourself beyond what the original format was. So that's what not getting
caught in the formula.
And that's what I think Peach Festival is. It's not getting caught in the formula of just doing one night shows. Actually, we're kind of promoter jam banding when we put this concoction together that becomes this unbelievable drink where you're like, first, like, does that really go with that? Does orange juice go with that? Next thing you're like, ooh, that tastes good.
Yeah. Oh, the mix is unbelievable. Very reminiscent of Bonnaroo Year One, I have to say, with the vibe. I mean, when I looked at that lineup, I'm like, wow, I kind of wish Bonnaroo had this vibe still.
Well, I went to all the first Bonnaroos and I went recently. It's a great festival. It's definitely, it's become what popular music should be, and it should have broken out of that, because you got to change with the times, so to speak. But the thing about Peach is it really is that corner bar that we all love so much, that we go to. Yeah, we try the new fancier, shinier one, but that corner bar we feel comfortable in, and we know the jukebox is good and the beer is cold. That's what Peach Festival is.
All right, well, let's talk about the venue. What's the capacity of Peach Festival?
16,000. So we historically it's a very manageable festival. I think people also like it because the town is relatively inexpensive to navigate. You know, if you don't want to camp, you can get a hotel room close, and just everything around it is reasonably priced for the most part, and it's just a great place to go and hang out. And it's centrally located. I mean, I'm from Rochester, New York, and you could probably tell by I said Rochester, but I'm from Rochester, New York, and all my friends come down from that area, and Binghamton and all that area, and that whole area. Growing up, as we know, were some of the biggest deadhead areas was Ithaca, Rochester, Cornell, obviously.
All the college towns, right?
Yeah, Binghamton's. Those were big dead areas. You know, Stabler Arena. You know what I mean? Like those are all big dead areas. So it kind of was a natural when speaking to Bert and then Greg back then of doing an Almonds Festival there. It seemed like, well, wouldn't we be in the South for that? And I said, no, because this is really the heart. This is the belly of the beast, so to speak, of jam band fervor, if you will. I mean,
this started as an almonds festival.
Yes. Almonds would play a couple nights and different iterations and stuff.
And how many years has it been going on now?
10. Let's be 10.
And how many stages?
Yeah. We have 3 stages. Three.
And there's one, the big stage, which holds everybody. And then there's 2 outside in the lot.
The big stage, which is the amphitheater stage, which we use and turn that into an immersive experience with video mapping and stuff like that. And then there's the mushroom stage, which is over near the water park, plays actually to the water park, which is, where we get started not as early, but get going later. That's a good place to watch Lotus all night long or somebody like that. And then there's a Grove stage, which is emerging artists and some really cool Americana stuff that we got going on over there.
Great. And what time's music start? What time's it go till?
We start usually around 2:00, and then we go to sometimes 2:00. Depending. But that's usually our format. We're in the mountains, can't really bother anybody, so we have some fun.
And when do tickets go on sale for Peach?
Tickets are on sale. I've already got 10,000 tickets. Almost 11,000 tickets sold. So that was the thing is I didn't flinch. Like I never moved the show. People got refunds in the refund window when it was originally, but people held on to their tickets. So that was part of what I was saying to the politicos was, hey, look, the court of popular opinion says they want Peach. So we got to make this happen.
Yeah, well, I think it was brave and ballsy, but I think you hit it perfectly, and I think it's going to end up being great. And I'm trying to move some things around to get out there myself so we can have some fun together, because I had fun with you this summer at Dark Star Orchestra at Citizens Bank Park. I can't imagine 3 days with Geoff with a G and Geoff with a J together. That'd be scary.
Yeah, we might have to warn the authorities probably, but I think we can get it by because we're bringing enough economic impact that maybe they'll let us slide on this one.
I appreciate that. All right, I want to talk about the other big show. What I think is the real big homecoming this summer is one of the only Northeast performances of Phish, which is going to be in my hometown. And I don't know if you're sitting in Ventnor, New Jersey right now, but your adopted hometown now too.
Yeah. I'll be in Ventnor all weekend, but I'm actually in Ballackinwood now. But that's another one that I got to thank Richard and Corin and Patrick and Colton and everybody that like I said took the ride with us because it was iffy, and I can't say enough what that means to all of us in our office, people really trusting. And I mean, we've had a long relationship with that whole camp and very proud of that.
Geoff, I'm trying to put myself in the scenario. This is like one high stakes game of poker you guys were playing, and the odds were so stacked against you, and you had to hold your cards so close to your chest the entire time with Peach and especially with Phish, because everybody else was starting to bail on summer. Bieber pulled out a summer tour. All these people started pulling out a summer tour, but Phish hadn't pulled out. But then once I saw Dave Matthews announce, that to me signaled what was going to happen with Phish and Dead and Company and everybody else. They were kind of the first ones to say, we're going to go out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was high stakes poker with changing dealers every day, you know, with you know, the chances of winning changing literally daily. I'm not going to lie. We still have to pull it off. So let's God bless, you know, everything that
right. The numbers have to stay down. The numbers have to stay down at any time. Right, if anything switched, we'd have to cancel, right?
Yeah, but having said that, we're going where we obviously wouldn't try to pull this. But yes, it was stressful, and I had a lot of people. You know, John and Hampton and I really had a lot of people all the time. There's no way. But you know what? It's the power of willing it, not only willing it, but like I said, good relationships, and in the end, the spirit of the bands wanting to play. That's what they do. That's what, you know, I don't know anything else. I don't have a fallback career on this one. This is it. So I went all in, as they show in World Series of Poker, where they push all the chips in. We pushed all the chips in, and then started writing markers out of on scratch sheets and throw car keys in there. You know, we were going all in.
Yeah, well, I get it a lot easier to go in at the end of July, beginning of August, than it is at the end of June, beginning of July, because that freaking big balls there, man. That was Jesus. Yes. I was like, wow, this is happening, and I agree. I think the first big welcome back party is Peach Fest, because that's going to be Trey's going to be on stage with the electric guitar, and Philip and Stuart and Les. Up there. I mean, that's going to be absolutely incredible. You got every major iconic band up there. I mean, I'm looking forward to that. And, you know, and then Phish in Atlantic City, I think that's going to be a huge homecoming. What's the capacity in Atlantic City? Is that 35?
Yeah, we're at 35,000 for that show, yes.
And so far, Saturday night sold out.
Yep, and we're well on our way with both of them. I mean, the sales were very vigorous prior to, but once the re-announce, Saturday went immediately, and most of the rest of them are on their way to go too. And then we're very happy to be the presenters of basically the Northeast tour of Phish with the 2 Hershey shows prior to it. So that's a first for me. I've never had the entire Phish summer tour, Northeast tour, I should not, but Northeast tour, which is, again, I am so humbled by that, but it's really a cool way to have, you know, it's kind of like a lot of my friends are bringing the families to Hershey and bringing the guys to AC, basically, is what happened.
That sounds like a good mix. Hershey's, that's going to be a blast. The band hasn't played there for a while. I mean, you know, you got some great shows. And you also have some Dead and Company coming into the Northeast, too. What shows are you doing for them?
Yeah, we have Citi Field coming up. Yeah, we have Philadelphia. And we have Hershey as well. I'm just looking at my notes because I'm old. And then we have 4 shows. You know, now I'm involved with New York and DC, so we have 4 shows in the corridor here. And I don't think I have to give my feelings about the Grateful Dead by any stretch of imagination. I wouldn't be married again if it wasn't for Bobby. So that says it all.
Oh yeah, I saw those pictures.
Yeah,
epic.
So my reverend and the boys are out.
So let's talk about all the other bands. What else do we have to? Is there other stuff that's going to drop between now and the beginning of August, or is everything out that's going to happen?
I think everything's pretty much everything's pretty much announced. We've been able to keep most stuff in. You know, we just announced a big run with Jonas Brothers. King, I might be early on this one. Well, Kings of Leon are going to tour. I don't know if I'm early or not. I don't know if we.
I heard Kings of Leon are going out. Yeah, I heard that.
I think we announced that. You know what? Here's the thing. The spigot was turned off, right? and now I'm drinking water through a fire hose. So it's coming fast and furious. But that's fine with me. But it really, the slowdown is nothing like everybody thought. And then we'll ease back. Well, there's no easing back, especially, you know, if I'm involved, we're going hard at it. So got a lot of good stuff coming up.
Well, yeah, you probably went from wondering when your phone was going to ring again to wondering when it was going to stop.
You know what? That's okay. Sharks got to swim. You know what I mean? Oh yeah.
That's right.
I'm being reminded. My morning jacket. We just announced it at the Man, which is terrible because, you know, I like Jim. We booked Jim and the boys since they played the TLA, and I'm a huge fan. So thank you, Toby. Thank you for reminding me.
Toby.
Yes,
you told me yesterday you guys are now handling the Man Music Center too as one of your venues.
Yes, we're so fortunate. I love the Man Music Center, and actually it's about 7 minutes from where I sit right now. So selfishly, that's great too. But yeah, it's super exciting. The Man's such a majestic, beautiful place, and really a compliment for a lot of the other venues we have in our portfolio in the area here. We're so happy. We got unfortunately not to start. We end up working out a deal, and then we don't even get started. But we're gonna have a very, very healthy season at the Man Music Center too.
Well, we're happy you're back to work and your phone's ringing. Couldn't be more excited to be coming back to a summer where we're gonna see some shows, be able to dance and have some laughs. So I'm looking forward to it. So I suggest everybody get their Peach tickets because you only have 6,000 seats left in there.
Yeah, they're going fast. They really are. That's not pure bullshit. They are going fast, thankfully. I mean, it's the first. It's homecoming. You know what I mean? So let's all go celebrate with each other. We're all vaccinated. Maybe a few hugs here and there that we've been missing so much. The human connection, and look forward to seeing everybody in Kravitz. If I don't see you, I'll be extremely disappointed. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I'm working on my schedule right now, and I'll be in touch with you.
All right, brother. All right, man.
Thank you very much, and thanks to Ike and your whole team for having you on today. And say hi to John and everybody. You know, we love the Live Nation crew, and we're gonna have some fun.
I do want to say one thing, and I mean this sincerely, brother. Your show, it was such a bright spot, and I know you've probably heard this from a lot of people, such a bright spot and such a great connection while we're going through that mess that you should really be proud, and it was very profound for me and a lot of other people. So thank you, brother. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your love and support, and I look forward to a little face-to-face time coming soon.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right, Jeff Gordon signing off from the East Coast from Philadelphia. I mean, come on, what else? What else could you be more excited about than the fact that we're going to see each other? We're going to be able to hug each other a little bit too long, uncomfortably. You know, it's just going to be back to fun. My daughter, I could hear in the background, perv, Dad, why are you such a perv? Yeah, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody this summer. And yes, Peach Fest is on my list. I have a list. I've been making a list. I'm checking it twice, and I'm planning on a ton of fun. If you've been following me along, you know, it's not like I've been shying away from fun the whole year. I've had a couple great trips, a couple great jam sessions, an amazing birthday party last week. So the fun never stops. And, you know, in my travels, I've created this 420 Live where it's like a cannabis theme because I love weed. Everybody knows that if you're friends with me, we've gotten high before. I've asked you to get high with me, or I've given you something that you probably either loved or regretted later. And, you know, it's why we're friends. It's why we're here today. So my guest now, Kimberly Rollins up there, Luminescent Farms, coming from Nevada County. Hello, Kimberly. How are you?
Hi, good.
Nice to see you. It looks beautiful up there.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm actually at a friend's property because my internet doesn't really exist at our house.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I had a friend in Nevada City, and he told me he would have to drive like 40 minutes to go on top of a hill to grab service. So I guess that's the same thing for you, huh?
Yeah, luckily this is right around the corner, but yeah.
Oh, that's good. Nice.
Yeah.
How's it going? Congratulations. I saw one of your strains just picked up for the Garcia hand-picked next drop, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we have the garlic cookies in the indica line, and our lemon crasher was actually just dropped, I believe, this week. So we've got 2 out there right now.
Well, excellent. And how hard was it to align with that crew?
I remember I saw it at the Emerald Cup, and I was just kind of like, oh no, like, are they gonna, take out all the small farmers? Like, just kind of didn't know what to think about it. And then in September, I got a message from Brett, and he asked me if I wanted to be a part of it, and I was like, what? Like, how did you find me? Like, it was just like the biggest honor. So I had a few meetings with him, and then I guess they decided to pick me up. And Tim from Liberty Cannabis, both of them came to visit me, and we just hit it off, and I think they liked our flower, and that's kind of how it all evolved. And yeah, I love working with them. It's a great crew, and it's kind of my dream come true. I've been involved with anything Grateful Dead related since I was 13, and it's kind of been the story to my life. And to bring it full circle with cannabis is, there's not really anything better to like my story, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we're both on the same page when it comes to cannabis and to Grateful Dead and music and jam band scene. What was your Grateful Dead experience at 13? Now you got my curiosity going.
Well, I am a little younger. Well, I'm 39, but at 13, I was in 7th grade.
Well, thank you. See, just to imagine that we were the same age for a second there, that just warmed my heart. But thank you.
So it was more my friend's parents and then older sisters kind of got us into it, and then and then Jerry passed away, unfortunately, around the time that I was like exposed to it. And then 96 went to my first Further show, and then 97 just kind of kept going, and music brought me out to California. And that's how I met my partner, actually through Phish in 09 at the Gorge. Like, music's like our whole life. It's all of my friends, all my circle, it kind of just revolves around that, and we share that connection. So it's really special.
So you were hurt the past year or two, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that was hard. But fortunately I live out in the mountains, and so I kind of live an isolated life a little bit anyways, because we're farmers, and then we usually travel for music a few times a year and see friends and stuff. And so it kind of let us just like focus on our work more. Cannabis kind of really took off in this pandemic, which is opposite for most people that work. So we were very blessed in that category.
Have you always been, when did you go, how long have you been growing, I guess is the first question.
So in 2000, actually, after Shoreline for Phish, I went up to visit a friend in Humboldt and got my first trim job. And then the next year, then I moved there full time, got my first light. And then, so yeah, 21 years. And then just kind of kept expanding, did the indoor thing. And then 2006 got my first property, and kind of just kept reinvesting into my business. And then 6 years ago, after 15 years in Humboldt County, moved to Nevada County as a compromise, because my partner didn't live in Humboldt and he was Santa Cruz. And so we kind of made a compromise on moving to Nevada County, because he worked in the solar industry and there's not really enough sun up in Humboldt, I guess, for him to make the move. And so, yeah, we've been here now. And unfortunately, as soon as I sold the property in Humboldt and bought this place out here, there was an immediate ban. And so we couldn't really get online until 2 years ago is when they passed the ordinance for the county. So then we were one of the, we're in the first line of licensed farms. And that was extremely challenging because we didn't have anyone.
You were legacy before, I don't want to say black market, but you were black market before you moved to Nevada City then. And then you had 3 years. And then when you came online, you were a legitimate grow. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I've always been a part of cannabis. I got really fortunate. That was, from a young age, just kind of a part of life. So I liked the freedom, the traveling. Like, I don't know, cannabis is just one of those beautiful, magical.
Well, especially all your friends are deadheads. What the hell?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, what do you do? All your Deadhead friends, we sit around, smoke weed, listen to Dead, go to Dead shows, you know, I mean, go to Phish shows. What do you got planned this summer? I mean, you've seen the tours, I'm sure. You're as excited as everybody else.
Yeah, well, I just found out I have, like for Phish, I have got Vegas and Sacramento, and then I already had Tahoe and Civic, and locked in an RV with some friends for the Gorge. I guess I'm going pretty hard with the Phish this summer.
Well, there's a lot of Phish coming too, because you got not only the summer, but you got the fall also. You know, you got the October stuff, which is going to be a lot of fun. I got my Gorge accommodations. I'm very excited for the Gorge. I mean, that's a venue. I think I've only missed 1 or 2 runs there of all of their runs, because it's an incredibly special place.
It is, and that's where I met the love of my life 12 years ago.
There you go. I mean, it's amazing they've been back now that long, but I'm really excited for music and back to festivals, and you know, I'm just ready to get back to. Do you do outside lands or anything like that, or have you done that before?
I did it once when Phish played.
But for
was it like, yeah, maybe like 10 years ago or something?
Yeah, that was about 2011, maybe 10, 11, something like that. Yeah, they like that venue. It's a beautiful venue out there. And now they have grasslands there. So they have legal cannabis consumption and where people can buy on site at Outside Lands. Was one of the first ones to do that.
That's awesome.
And now I guess it's going to Virginia. I'm sure Pete Shapiro this year at Lock-In wants to have a full-on I heard he wants to have a whole marketplace out there. You know, this is our reality has changed. We're back into the real world of, you know, cannabis is now a commodity item.
I'm so excited for Virginia too. That's where I'm from. So I've gone back to Lock-In a lot of times to see my family and all my friends and stuff. But Virginia holds a special place in my heart. And, you know, as when I was a teenager and decided, you know, late teenager and decided to move to California, like being a part of like the Grateful Dead scene and, you know, cannabis, like I didn't want to go to jail, you know, so to now see people, you know, I'm just so happy about Virginia. I mean, I'm happy about all the states.
Yeah, the fact that it's come online and become a legal state now. Well, Virginia's had it for a little while. I don't know. Virginia just legalized recently, right?
They just recently recognized recreation, and I believe it's going into effect maybe in July.
Yeah,
I think, or it's maybe 1 year. They were talking about 3 or 4 years from now, but it got moved up.
Well, the whole world's coming around and back to our line of thinking. It's amazing to see how everything's changing and changed. You know, since you started in your business and to now, how hard was it to find your strains, and how much do you do in crossbreeding and creating your own flavors?
I actually don't do any of the breeding myself, but like our neighbors, Sanctuary Farms, they do a lot of breeding. But this last year, I ran all Sea Junkie genetics. I had a friend that has connections with all of those, and he hooked us up. And I believe that those strains were kind of the reason why we got the situation with the Garcias, because they were, you know, most of them were testing around 30%. You know, they're beautiful. It was like something different. So I'm gonna run like half Seed Junkie this year, and then half some new stuff that our neighbor came up with.
And everything's outdoors. Do you have lights too? Do you do light depth? What do you?
It's all full sun outdoor.
Full sun outdoor. So is that just one crop a year? Yep.
Yeah, we did a little trial run with auto flowers last year, but that didn't work out well for us. So, you know, so we planted later in July, so we had smaller plants. But this year we're going to go back to planting June 1st.
And are you trying to grow them as big as possible?
Yes and no. Like our plants used to just get so big, they were unmanageable. And so we got our plants a little bit later, like a couple weeks later. So they won't be as big as we could have had them, but they're still going to be really, really big. So
what's it like, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, the cycle?
Well, so pretty much things start flowering at the beginning of August. And so once they start flowering, it's between 2 to 3 months or something. And so you can, if your plants are like this little, you can plant them, you know, June 1st, and then they're going to be like medium size, but if you grow them out before you plant them June 1st, then they can be like, we had 15-foot plants, like 10-pound plants and stuff. That's just a little bit too big.
So what happens on your off time then? Because you're off all winter then, right? Technically.
Well, we're technically like we kind of work until the middle of June or January, and then I take about 6 weeks off, and I travel internationally, and I have every winter since 2004. It's kind of like my regroup, and then I go back, and then we start, prepping the land and get the plants, and you kind of like, you grow them out before you plant them June 1st.
All right. Well, you're an incredibly attractive female, which is kind of unusual in the cannabis industry. I haven't really seen too many growers that look like you. Usually they got like a tooth missing and they're all hairy and stuff. How's working in an industry that's typically male dominated?
It was always challenging in the past because people didn't take me seriously. They thought I either like had a trust fund or, my parents paid for something, and like that was really hard because they couldn't quite understand. But no, I worked myself up from one little light. And but I don't know. I eat organically and, live a pretty heady lifestyle. So I take care of myself.
Well, no, that's good too. But I mean, just trying to do business with guys because they're such assholes, in general. And then you're cutting into their territory a little bit, and they're like, "Wait, who's this chick?" Was that ever a thing, or were you always never had an issue with that?
It was always a thing. But I feel like over the last few years, especially since getting permitted, it's actually maybe been used to my benefit that I am like woman-owned and operated farm. It's kind of just like rooting for the underdog and bringing women to the forefront, which I think is great in the male-dominated industry.
Well, now everybody's looking for that. Everything has to have. It's so funny because we got Demi Lovato with her pronoun today, and I woke up, I'm like, does that mean when we're talking about her here at home, I have to refer to her as they? I mean, I'm just so confused about the whole thing. Or it's like if I'm addressing this person individually, there's so many rules and regulations now that are coming up everywhere that you're kind of good if you're in the minority now. Before, it was safety in numbers were all, they were trying to keep the old boys club intact. But now there's cracks and chinks in the armor and everybody's getting through. So it's beautiful to see. And business is good, I assume.
Yeah, we've done really well the last 2 years, which is great because I never was one to like get greedy. I always kind of would grow enough that I could like fly kind of under the radar and, pay people well and make a good living. But I would kind of not run out of money every year, but this is now the first time we've been able to have some serious savings, which is kind of nice. We always had equity put back into the property, but now having a little savings, it's been, it feels really good and secure, because you can have a bad crop and lose everything and then not be able to fund your next season. And so to have that has been a big relief. And so I was against permitting, but I kind of figured that I was going to end up like I had to get permitted or I was going to lose everything. And so, but now that it's happened, it's one of the best things that I could have ever done.
Do you find it overtaxed and on a legal end as a consumer, it's overtaxed? How is it on the grower end? Are you paying a lot in fees? Do you find them cutting into your profit quite a bit?
Yes. And I think more at the end of the year, because when you claim your money, it puts you in like a higher tax bracket. So you have to pay a lot at the end of the year to the county, state. But for the most part, the taxes are paid by the distributor. And so a lot of them we don't actually see. It's kind of tacked on.
Right. So you're on the wholesale level. That's you would have like a resale number or that's what I used to have for film back in the day because I'd resell the film after I shot it. So I had to collect sales tax and then pay my sales tax and stuff like that. So that's on the retail end. You're the wholesaler, right? I guess would be the farmer's a wholesaler, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you are a farmer. I mean, that's basically what it comes down to, right? You're growing.
I am a farmer through and through.
Are you growing anything else up there or just cannabis?
Right now, just cannabis. I wish every year we're going to put in, the biggest veggie garden, but there's so much work to do to prep for the year, from, building your soils to just land maintenance. We've got 21 acres that you have to maintain. And so it's kind of a lot of work that it kind of gets pushed to the side a little bit, the vegetables, but I'm hoping it's not too late this year, because I feel like we're within the next 2 weeks, like once we plant, we'll be able to like have some extra time to plant some vegetables, and maybe we can get some, later starts and stuff and not start them from seed.
Right.
So.
Get the little sprouts going. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm dealing with that in my house now. We're not growing cannabis, but the vegetable garden is starting to pop.
Yeah. What are you growing?
Well, I think the kid's got an apricot tree, and they're like, look at the apricot tree. Like, here it goes. And they just put a bunch of seeds out, and tomatoes and veggies, squash, and, stuff that we end up in the garden. Cauliflower that's been popping the past couple of weeks. They've been, look, we made cauliflower. Like, great, dinner.
Mm-hmm.
It was the pandemic stuff.
We have about almost 30 fruit trees that we did plant. So I guess that counts. We've got,
yeah. But you don't have to do much maintenance for them, right?
No, but we need to give them a little more compost tea than we've been giving them.
So when does it drop? When do you drop on the Garcia label?
What do you mean? When do I drop?
When is it already out?
Yep. Our garlic cookies was released like 2 months ago. So that's been throughout California. And then they came back for the rest of the garlic cookies. So that should go for a little while longer. And then they picked up the lemon crasher, and that just left production. So that's in stores as well. And and there might be a little more in the future as well. But that's
great.
What's in stores now.
What do you got? You got growing this? Do you know what you're growing this summer that you're excited about?
Yeah, I'm most excited about a strain called acai mints.
Acai mints.
Uh-huh.
Like an acai bowl, like a bowl, like an ice bowl.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And what's the cross?
I think I don't know. Acai. I forget what that is, and then it's by Kush Mints. Acai. I don't remember the parents. I should know that. Sorry.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. No points off. I'm more interested in the finished product anyway.
We're doing that, and then Cake Crasher. We've had really good success with the LA Kush Cake that we actually placed in the Emerald Cup this year with LA Kush Cake. So we want to do that again. And your typical ice cream cake, just because people love it and it does well where we live. And what else do we have? Oh, we're going to do a sour guava, which I'm really excited about. It's like a guava cross with sour strain. And another one that's called icing. That's like Afghani by Skunk. And then we've got also something called Jet Life. It's jet fuel crossed with Y-Life, but I'm kind of on the fence if I want to run it or not. I feel like we've got too many strains, and so we have to kind of make the cut.
Yeah, I'm sure you want to stick with the ones that you know are going to work the best.
Right? I know. I don't know if we need to because where we're at, it's so hot. It's like regularly 108. It gets to 118. We're in this little microclimate belt that's we're the lowest farm in the county. It's at 750 elevation, but it just cooks, and so how
much water are those ladies going through?
Kind of a lot. Like 10,000 square feet is about 1,800 gallons every other day or something.
Whoa! Wow.
We're working on it. We're working towards our Sun and Earth certification. So like now that we have like more, like we just need to do companion planting, and because it's so hot where we are, just kind of build some sort of like ecosystem on top of our soil, so it just doesn't get baked by the sun.
Right. Some kind of cover, some kind of ground cover or something.
Yeah, and we do hay, but I think there's more things that we're gonna look into try this year.
Yeah. Well. Sounds like you got it nailed. I've tried your flavor before. Brett's brought me quite a bit of your flavor, so I love smoking it. It's delicious. So keep up the good work, and everybody check out the delicious flavors at the Garcia strains, and hopefully people in other states will be able to try the California cannabis eventually at some point.
Yep. Well, hopefully I can get you some more flavors this year.
I look forward to it, Kim. Thanks for coming on the show today. It was great talking to you.
You too.
And maybe I'll see you at the Gorge. We'll have to connect.
Sounds good. Would love that.
It'll be a good time. Thanks.
Take care.
All right, Kim Rollins, Luminescent Farms on 420 Live. There you go. Soup to nuts, cannabis to music, Grateful Dead to Cushman's. You know, I think we covered it all today, all the things that we love. I mean, I am getting ready. Ike wants 420 Live at the Peach Fest. Yay, I'm down. I'll bring my camera. You know, Jim, we're all going to get together. It's all happening. It all happening. We're all going to hang out. And it looks like Virginia moved the date up to June 1st, according to Jen Bernstein. Well, thanks, Jen, for chirping in with that. Ike, favorite shows, Turquoise. That really is something I really want to see. Is Turquoise with Jerry Harris and Adrian Belew at Peach Fest doing Remain in Light. I mean, I'm a huge Talking Heads fan. I love it. Jerry and I go back a long way, and Adrian Belew is a master on the guitar. So we have some good stuff. I'm glad we didn't squeeze any secrets out of our boy there and Geoff and had him talking out of school. I tried to keep it right. Farmer Dave Sure checking in. I'm sure you're out there rocking. And yes, they did a great job planning and getting ready for this summer. I'm ready. Lauren, are you ready? We're going to see you this summer in Atlantic City on the beach. I mean, that's going to be the, to me, that is the show. Weekly. Yes. Once a week. I moved weekly. That's why I wasn't jumping in like, hey, let's do this Monday. So summer camp is a possibility. I'm just so waiting to see what's going to happen in August there. Phil Fernandez there in the Vermont and the BTV. Billy Strings Tour, possibly. Summer camp, possibly. I'm going to have to talk to Ian and see what's going to happen with summer camp this year, because I would like to go. I mean, another great lineup is summer camp. That's in August. So, and I know our friends from Electric Forest pulled the plug for the next 2 years, but, you know, we'll see it. John Siva, John and I grew up together. Yes, I hope to make it to Peach too. I think the lineup's great. I think everybody should get their tickets. You know, 16,000 is not a lot of seats. That's a small venue. Some of those venues in the summer, 25, 30,000 people. Some of the places we're going to see Phish. I think even Man Music Center has more room than that. And you're out all the way out there in Scranton, PA. All our friends. Oh, it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody this summer. And I couldn't be more excited. Can you tell? Is it coming off? Is it coming off me? Okay. What else we got? I don't have filters here, so it's not as much fun as the Instagram when it comes to my humor quotient. But, you know, it has been an incredibly interesting journey the past year. You know, I was reflecting on the show before I came on and how we connected. It was great to hear Geoff talk about what a connection it was and how people connected during the whole pandemic. And I appreciate everybody going for the ride with me. You know, awkwardly want long hugs. Yeah, it's going to be awkward. It's going to be like, oh, wait, should we stop hugging or should we just keep hugging? Oh, you feel so good. Massive games of spin the bottle. I see it all happening, Reagan. It's all coming down. Can't imagine Peach Fest. Oh my God. Can you imagine? They got a water park next door. What's that mean? You're going to go like on slides and there's going to be music? You're going to be tripping balls and going down water slides? Oh my God. That might be just too much fun. I don't even think my first show back, I'm going to truth or dare. I don't think my first show back, I'm even going to be able to trip. I think I'm going to have to be sober because I'm going to be getting off so much on the music and the vibe. I'm not saying I'm not going to smoke massive amounts of Kim's weed, but I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. All right, everybody. I can see by the big hand on the clock and a little hand on the clock that it's time for me to go. We'll be back here next week talking to who I don't know. Talking about what? I have no idea. You know, but hopefully you sold your Bitcoin before the crash, so you have some money for summer tour left. And a lot of people are probably counting on that Bitcoin, but you know what? It's going to come back. Buy the dips, folks. Buy the dips. And all you fuckers in Congress that are trying to obstruct justice, coming for you. Every last one of yous. We're coming to get you. So you can run and you can hide, but we're going to find you, and justice is coming The big finger of the law. It's coming for you. All right, everybody. Peace, love, and happiness. Everybody out there is a big hug. Oh. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Trump went from civic investigation to criminal investigation in the state of New York, and the Manhattan DA's up his ass too. I just put him in jail. Just get rid of him. I don't want to hear from him anymore. I don't even understand why the guy has power. You know what? Why are they blowing smoke up this guy's ass? He does not matter. He's not going to matter in the midterms. He's not going to matter in 2 years. You guys are all done. You're trying to hold on to something you can't hold on to. It's all going. We're all watching. You're right, Phil. We're watching. It's all going to happen. It's all coming down. Meanwhile, let's go see some shows. Let's have some fun. Now. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.